Hey, what is going on YouTube? My name is Charlie Temenian and today we are talking about SVG animations, and as you guys can see, this is what we are going to build in this tutorial. We are going to design this thing in Illustrator and then we're going to jump in VS Code and do some JavaScript animation. So hopefully you guys are pumped up. Let's do this. Alright, so let's begin. I'm going to create a folder on my desktop. I'm going to just call this Insta for now. Now, we need some references, so let's jump to the internet. And let's type like the Instagram likes icon or whatever. We need that image. And the image we are looking for is this. This is high resolution. It looks good. So let's save the image and save it in our folder. Cool. Then the next thing we need some kind of reference for like a background scene with mountains and stuff like that. So let's look for some inspiration. So we'll do like background scene or something. There you go. This is the kind of stuff that I'm looking at. But I want something more epic. I want something pretty nice and interesting because we are going to use that as reference and inspiration. So I mean, this is taking me somewhere. I can click on it and then go view more. Let's keep looking until we find something interesting. Now you guys can follow along with the same exact image if you want, or you can find your own image that inspires you and use that to for the tutorial. So let me look a little bit more and let's find something epic. Maybe I'll search for like mountain scene maybe. Yeah, there you go. This looks much better right now. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. Hey, you know what guys, this is really cool. I like this. I'm gonna right click and save it right away. Okay, and so for the second image we are going to need some kind of vector background that inspires us. We are going to take the color values from this image. So the first one is going to be the reference to draw the shapes. The second one is going to be our color reference to get the colors from. So maybe we'll search for like vector landscape. And we'll go into images, and you guys, this is totally up to you, up to your taste, but what you're gonna do is find something that inspires you in terms of colors. So I mean, this is very nice. I see some nice gradients. You know, you want to look for gradients, you want to look for colors, something that sparks your imagination. I mean, this looks, wow, this is cool, man. I like the color palette of this one. Oh wow, this one has a great color palette. I want you guys to take your time, you know, don't rush into it. The more time you take to find the photo, the better the end result will be. So take your time. Even if this takes like a whole day, you can come back to it tomorrow and work on it tomorrow, you know? Let's do like dribble. Let's do dribble, man. Get me the images from dribble. Here you go. Right away. Okay, so this is the stuff I'm looking for. There you go. Okay, we're there. We made it. We made it. Okay. So this is cool. Let's look at this. This is all amazing. This is all amazing. Wow. I believe this is the one I used in the tutorial. Okay, there you go. So we found it, you guys. We found the image. This one really piques my interest. I like it. It's pretty sweet. So I am going to, yeah, I'm not gonna look anymore. This is it. I like this. So I am going to save the image into my folder. Okay. And we're done. Let's get out of the internet and start working. Alrighty then, let's fire up Illustrator. All right, get this out of here. Remind me later. Let's grab the image and drop it into Illustrator real quick. That's cool. And if we want to trace on top of it, so we don't want to touch it, so you guys want to select it and hit Alt 2 or Control 2, my bad. There you go. Now it's locked and we can't touch it. So let's hit the pen tool and let's zoom in with Control plus, and we are going to trace on top of this thing. And you guys want to be as accurate or as loose as you want. So I am going to make a straight line on the corners, and then we will come back and fix those later on. Okay, because you can always just hit Alt, hold Alt, and then come back and make the curve. Okay, so just click right on the corner, and then as close as you can to this corner, hold Alt, and then click on the line, curve it, done. Cool. All right, let's do this. So as close as I can to the curve, hold Alt, draw the curve. Cool. Again, come back here, hold Alt, and as much as I can. Okay, now I am going to click here, come back down, this time go straight or hold Alt, come back down just like that, and close it off. Okay, so we have it closed off. Now we don't want to stroke on it, so I'm going to click on the stroke, take it out, and then go on the fill, and this is not going to be accurate at all, you guys, so I am going to do all the colors by eye. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Okay, so let me grab let's see, here's this and here's that. As you guys can see, it's a little bit too saturated, if you guys notice, so I am just going to eyeball everything, and it's good practice for your color, so you can get to know your colors. So why yeah, something like that. There you go. Still a little bit saturated. We can still fix it a little bit more. I'm gonna click this and desaturate it a little bit more, and there you have it. That should be very good. Yeah, look at that, barely noticeable. Okay, so for the next thing, let's trace on top for the heart. So we're gonna click the pen tool again. This time we're gonna click from the bottom, or maybe we should start from here. Okay, let's start from here. Make sure it's in the middle as much as you can. Sometimes it's not, but it's okay. Hold shift, click one time, and then again with Alt, go up, and then we're gonna come maybe over here, click one time, and then maybe hold Alt as much as we can, and then maybe we can click here and curve like that. No, doesn't work. Okay, so we'll just trace the rest just like that, and then we can come back here and do this one. Can do this one, and again, you guys, this is not extremely accurate. We're just, you guys can be extremely accurate when you do your own stuff. So there you go, and then we can do like even this one just like that. That's good enough for me. And I click this, make it white, and done. Now we can zoom out, we can hide the original layer, we can bring this one back, can select this and this, both. Then we can go to align and align them in the center. Are they in the center? Yes, they are in the center. Okay. And then I'm just gonna eyeball it over here. We can come back to the heart. We can select it, and then we can kind of fix this if we want to make it a little bit rounder. Or we can even click on this thing and kind of like smooth it out. Not from this area, but from here actually. Can smooth it out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, this is cool enough, you guys. What do you think? I also want to maybe make it a little bit bigger because I don't like it. It's a little bit too small. There you go. So this is done. Now we can delete the reference image because we don't need it. And then I am going to come here to the layers, and we're gonna call this one likes. We're gonna call this one the heart, and then we're gonna call this one red. And it's extremely important to name your layers, because once we import the SVGs, once we import it as an SVG, we need everything to be named. So they can be assigned as IDs inside the SVG. Okay, so at this step, I'm just gonna save real quick, and we're gonna move on. So let's just call this likes and hit OK. Okay, so now let's drag the other two images inside the inside our working directory, our file. Let's throw these two in, and let's kind of situate them somehow. For now, these are way too big. We don't need them to be this big. We just need them for reference. Just gonna put them just like that. Okay, cool. Now what we're going to do is, I'm also gonna lock these because I don't want to touch them. So we need to make a copy of this one. So I'm gonna hold Alt and drag it over here. Okay, now for this one, we need to color it as a gradient. So I'm gonna zoom in, and if we look at the gradient over here, it's like purplish blue, purplish pink into yellow, very saturated yellow. So let's use that. Now again, it's not gonna be perfect, you guys. I am going to eyeball everything. Okay, so let's do it like that, and then we can move this up here. We can bring this up there, and then the black can come over here. Okay, cool. We are situated, and let's move this up here, and then I am going to double click on this one, and we'll make it like RGB because we do want to show it on the screen. And for now, let's kind of imagine where this thing might sit. So it's gonna sit between this and this, somewhere just like that. Okay, so once we got the base, we can work with the saturation and all that stuff. Okay, let's see. It is a little bit more, and then actually this is cool. It's a bit more desaturated. Okay, let's go with this one first. Okay, then I am going to click over here. Let's add one more color right here, then double click on it. So now this one is purplish pinkish, so I'm gonna go to pink. Sure you go. Drag it just a little bit more towards the pink. Done. And then for the last one, I'm gonna click on the black. Actually, let's delete the black. I'm just gonna click here. Whoops. Again, delete the black, click here, move it all the way to the back, and we will make this one the very bright yellow. So I'm gonna bring it right here, drag this all the way to yellow, as bright as we can. There it is, extremely bright. Cool, I like that. So that looks nice. Now we can bring the yellow up even more. There you go. And once we have it over here, we can always play with the colors the way they're done. So now if you see, now this is way too yellowish. We need to bring it more into the orange side. And there you go, we're getting there. And let's make it a little bit wider. There, they're blending now. Now everything blends nicely. Okay, and we are done. Here's our first layer. Okay, so now since we got the background, and as you guys can see, it's not exactly perfect, but this is good enough. So let's see how we want to proceed. Now let's look at this thing. I want to bring it up. Let's unlock it. I want to bring it right up here, and we'll make it small so we can look at it nicely. Just like that. Okay, so how can we characterize this scene in 3 shapes? So basically there is this foreground shape, Let me lock it. There is this foreground shape, there is this midground shape, and then there's this background shape. Okay, so let's try and characterize this. And then obviously you got the water. So let's try and build these shapes, but use these colors instead. That's the plan of attack. So I'm gonna grab my pen tool, and I should be on a new layer, and I am going to zoom in and make this a little bit to bring this way down so I can see it and work at the same time. There you go. Now I can see it and work. Cool. Okay, lock this. Now P for the pen tool. Let's do this shape. So it kind of comes from here, it's going in perspective to about here, I would say, and then it goes kind of like that, but it's curved just like that. There you go. And then from here it kind of goes, we can kind of play with it a little bit, give it some jaggedy edges, but let's offshoot it. We'll shoot it outside the thing, and then we'll come back here and we'll do that. Cool. And I don't want it to be a gradient for now, just want it to be a flat color, and I'm gonna do it in black just so we can see it. So here's our first shape. Now select the background, and by the way, let's rename this to BG also. BG, the color one. Okay, I'm gonna select this shape, hold shift, click, and select both of the shapes, and then you want to come to this tool right here, which is the shape builder tool, and we are going to click on the extras, the extra part outside. Once we clicked, come back to your normal selection tool, then you can grab this and delete it. And now we kind of clipped it over there. Cool. All right, so we have the first shape. Now let's do the second shape. So let me see. Here's our first path. Let me grab the pen tool again with P. And this one kind of comes like over here. And you guys, don't worry if you can't draw. You know, you can actually trace on top of this thing itself and then transfer it back here. It's all up to you, but you know, don't be discouraged if you can't, like, you know, you're not an illustrator or you can't draw and stuff like that. It really doesn't matter. This is all about practicing and doing something. It doesn't have to be perfect. I would rather you guys do something that is done but not perfect, instead of just, you know, not doing anything at all. So whatever, just do what you can. So here's the other shape. Let's make it black, but this time let's make it a little bit grayish, kind of like halfway. Let's do halfway. Cool. And then with control left bracket, I'm gonna move it a little bit to the back. Cool. And then we're gonna select this shape again, back to the shape builder tool. Let's click outside, then delete that shape. Okay, so we got shape 1, shape 2. Now let's do shape 3. Same thing, pen tool. And like I said, if you can't draw, just come and trace over this thing and then bring it back here. Don't worry. So if you guys can see, this is a little bit lower than this. So we either have to raise this, or I can come kind of like somewhere here. So we'll go like this, and I can see it goes down, and then it does like this little nice peak thingy, you know, and then it does like dum dum. You guys can start to create your own stuff from here. Okay, so let's do this. Come back outside. Done. Let's select this layer with the background. Again, same thing. Let's delete the extra parts. Let's grab this. Let's give it a light color, a little bit lighter, just so we can know the difference. And then control left bracket, left bracket. What do you guys think? This looks good. This looks extremely good to me, actually. So what is left is we need to define this shape right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hit the pen tool again, and as you guys can see, the water kind of stops right on top of this thing somewhere here. So I'm gonna click just like that and just like that, and I am going to create another shape right here. This time I want to make this one white so I can tell exactly what's going on, because we are going to use the shape builder tool again. Actually, white was a bad idea. Here. Okay, so let me bring this below and on top of this. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna click this, the background, one more time, shape builder, and delete. Okay, and you know, if there was like you missed stuff, doesn't matter, just move it. So we got our essential tools, we got the shapes, we got everything going on. We can do some clouds later on. Now what I'm noticing right here is that we need to fix our gradient, because I want the yellows to show. If you guys come to this image, let's zoom out a little bit. You guys can see like when the yellow pop, it's like the sun coming from the back. So I want that to show. So maybe we can actually grab this, lower it a little bit, so we can have maybe the sun pop over here just a little bit. That would be nice, because if you guys can see the flow of the image, the direction, you see it's going like whoop. So it's leading my eye over here. So it might be a good idea to throw the sun over here so you guys can focus over there. You see that the lines are leading you to look in this corner. So we got to put something very interesting in this corner. We'll probably put most of the important details over here, like the snow, you guys can see. So let's select the background, let's click the gradient again. Let's come back and kind of fix it a little bit. Where's the yellow? Right here. Let's bring it up until it starts to show. There you go, it's showing. Nice, I like that. And then maybe we can play with the purples a little bit. No. Let's make that even. Yeah, there you go, there you go. I like this. I really do like this. Okay. So let's move on. Let's draw some clouds in the background and throw them there so we can, you know, create a more dynamic scene. Let's look at these clouds. They're going straight, but I want to do something cool maybe. Select the P for the pen tool again. And let's zoom in. Let's kind of do like a very rough, you know, not really paying attention or anything, just very rough looking kind of cloud, like that, like that, like that. That's cool. And then I'll do this, I'll do that, whatever. We can click on this one, the direct selection tool, and then if we zoom in, because it looks extremely rough, if we select one of these points, it kind of smooths stuff around. We can click on like this and kind of smooth it. You can click on here, actually click, there you go, smooth stuff here. That's cool. Let's smooth some of this stuff. There you go, that looks nice. Okay, click on it, make it white, and throw it in the background for now. Let's make sure in the back, I'm gonna drag it here, control back, left bracket I mean, so we know now it's in the background. I can grab this and then let's make another copy of it. Let's put it somewhere here. Can kind of bring it up and bring it down, so it's like a different shape, you know. We can bring it kind of like here. We'll worry about the clouds later on, but for now let's just do this. And because they have a lot of they're extremely white, let's bring the opacity down. So click on properties, go to opacity, and do like, I don't know, we'll do this one 20, we'll do this one like 30, whatever for now, whatever. Okay, I actually don't like them, we're gonna delete them, but let's just keep it for now. We'll worry about this later. That's not bad actually. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one, I'm gonna keep this one. But don't forget, let's click on it, shift, click on the back, and click on the extra so we can delete it. Done. Okay, now let's apply some gradients. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock the color gradient one. Let's bring it up somewhere here, so we can look at it and work at the same time. I'll put it here. And then if we bring this right here, okay, cool. Then we can grab all of these and bring them down here somewhere halfway so we can work. Okay, I'm happy. Now let's start applying some gradients. So let's start with the back mountain. Okay. So for that one, we will probably do maybe either this or this. Let me lock this one. So for the background right here, we might do this orange pink or this pink violet. And then for this one, we can do either this blue or this. And then for the foreground, actually the water will be this. The foreground can be a mix of these. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's just dig in and see what happens. So I'll select this one, click the gradient tool. It's gonna throw in the same kind of color, but we already know what to do. Double click on the first one, and if you guys can see, it's kind of like a pinkish. So I'm gonna go to pink. Let's bring the saturation right here. And then shift it a little bit more towards red. Is it kind of like that? Yes, there it is. And we can bring the pink. This is actually not bad in terms of the color, but we can make it a little bit more saturated. Yes. And then for the final color, we can make it this nice violet. And how do we do that? Well, we're just gonna have to move stuff and see where the violet comes from. There you go. Here's our violet. It's very rich, very blue. Very bluish violet, very nice. Okay, and then we can kind of bring it closer, even closer. Oh, I like that. What do you guys think? You think we captured it? Look at this and this. I think we captured it. I want this to be even more saturated, so I'm gonna give it more saturation. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. And let's make it like that. Okay, so here's the first color. That looks great, actually. We'll see. We'll try some other stuff. For now, let's let us work maybe on this one. Let's make it a gradient. And what I want to do is definitely it's not going to be this color. So maybe, let's see, we can either do this or this. First, let me unlock this layer and bring it a little bit closer so we can see other stuff. Maybe a little bit smaller. There you go. Lock it again. Okay, come back here. Gradient tool, And let's edit this gradient. Let's see. I'm gonna try and do this one maybe, or even this one. We'll see what happens. So this is like very light pink, so it's kind of going towards this color, but it's lighter on the pink side. Yeah, that looks good. And then for the second color, it is a desaturated blue, so it is kind of like that, but desaturated. And I need to desaturate this kind of like that. Yes. And then you can bring this over here, can make this a little bit more dominant. There you go. Let's do that for now. This is not enough contrast between the middle ground and the background, so we need to fix that, but I'm gonna keep it for now because that is good. Now let's select the water, and again, gradient. This time I want to make it this blue, this very nice blue. So I want the blue to be very high over here, very saturated, I mean. Let's go into blue, extremely saturated blue. There you go, extremely saturated, just like that, And for the, I don't need it, I want it to be just one color. There you go. And bring it even more. And for the second one, I will also make it blue. But we will make it a bit darker. Just a little bit darker. Not too much. Hopefully, guys, you see that I am actually making stuff up as we go. So what I'm trying to teach you is you guys need to think outside of the box. Not because you have a reference, you're going to use it exactly the way it is, you know? You still got to sometimes think and design your own. I like the water. Let's do the foreground. So for the foreground, it's actually not that hard. It's going to be the darkest thing. So the main color over here is going to be lighter into darker. So it's all blue for sure. We'll make this, that's a little bit too saturated, I mean, sorry. Let's do it like that is cool. And then for the second color, we are going to make it extremely blue, extremely dark. And it is going towards, yeah, I want it to be extremely dark. That is nice, actually. I like that. Then we can either bring it like that or spread it back a little bit. That's okay, we can work on it later on. Yeah, we can even duplicate the shape and make like another one that's going to be darker on top of this. You see what I'm saying? But for now, this is a good spot. Okay, let me save and we will move on. Okay, we are moving on. I really want to use this very hot and hot orange and pink in our illustration, so maybe we can drop it into a layer over here maybe, or somewhere behind these mountains. Let's see, this is all about trial and error, you guys. So I'm just gonna create a quick little scribbly shape. This is where we start to invent our own things. So let's say I do something like this. Cool. And then let's situate it in terms of the layers, just like that. Maybe move it around, maybe bring it somewhere here. How does that look? That looks cool. Let's get that fiery orange in there and then see what happens for now. So let's get the colors. So it is extremely like a lot of reds in there. There you go. It's like this fiery, fiery, fiery orange. There you go, more towards the yellow. And then for the second one, it is like fiery pink. There you go. There you go. It's like extremely hot. See that? It's just awesome, man. It's very hot. And it's more pinkish. Yeah. It's more pinkish. And we need this to be a little bit more. There you go. And so for this to look even halfway decent, I just realized this has to be, the orange has to be very close to the white. I mean the yellow of the background. So I'm gonna bring it here, drop it one more layer, and we can actually, let's bring the cloud somewhere here for now because it's gonna distract us. So I'm gonna put it maybe here or even here. Let's see, let's try our main focal point right here. And then if we click on the background, bring the yellows even more up. There you go. See, now we're getting that effect, that fiery effect right here. See, it's like it's burning. It's almost like it's burning. So we can even grab this and probably put it here. We can fix the shape a little bit. We can right click on it, transform and reflect it. We can bring it up if we want. This is all up to us. I'm gonna leave the rest of this stuff for your creative, artistic vision. See, look at that. You see this little contrast that happens right here. This is amazing. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna grab this piece and this piece. Shape builder tool again. Delete. I like that. And this point is really bothering me, so I'm gonna grab it and just push it down because I don't want to worry about it touching that. Plus we reveal a little bit of that pink, of that hot pink. And then what I can do is click here and then we can kind of round this shape a little bit more. Yeah, yes sir. Let's round this corner because it's really annoying me. Let's do something like that, and then there you go, little rounding. And then we can even bring this really up or really down. It's completely up to us. Let's bring some of that in here and then some of that in there. This looks great, man. Then you can go back out, grab the cloud layer, and now we can throw it in the back again to kind of bring that hotness that we had from before. Just make sure there are no bad tangents, and by tangents I mean edge touching an edge. So you see we are getting some tangents over here, so I'm gonna shift it up where no edge touches the other edge. These two are pretty close. That's a bad tangent. This is touching. That's a bad tangent. Maybe we can do something like this to kind of eliminate the... Now if they intersect each other, that's cool, as long as they're not touching or very close. Hey, I like this. Then we can grab we can right click, transform, reflect. Okay, and then we can kind of do this if we want, even, and then make it smaller, extremely small, put it in the background somewhere. or maybe we don't want it at all. It's up to us. But if we do something like extremely small like this and then probably throw it in here, that looks cool. Or not, we can delete. Let's move on because we still got a lot of work to do. Okay, let's put some details on the actual what do you call it, the actual mountains right here. Okay, I'm gonna hit P. I am going to very quickly and roughly just create some kind of detail just like this. Again, you just want to be very rough with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. Then we can grab it, go to opacity and bring it down, because that's a lot. Way down. That's cool. About 22 is cool. And then we can bring it back, arrange it with the layers, and then we can hit P one more time. Let's do one for this shape, maybe over here. And as you guys can see, I'm being extremely random, nothing like complicated or exact. Let's do 25. And that looks nice. Can actually zoom in a little bit more, and we can grab these points. Try at least and make them something that makes sense. I'm just trying to align it. There you go. These can align over here. That can align over there. That's cool. Control left bracket again. Bring it down. Let's do one more and we're done. I'm going to do this, and that. Bam. 25. Control left bracket a couple of times. And there you got. Maybe 25 is just a lot. Not enough. Let's do like 15. Bring those way down. Yeah, you guys see the vibe? It's there. Is it there? It's almost there. It's close. No? Okay. Now we're going to go one more time on top of it. This time we're gonna make the white a little bit shinier. So I will do like the snow is coming down from here, and then it's hitting this mountain, and then it's kind of going this way, and then it's coming back this way. Just very simple strokes, you guys. Very simple strokes. There's one. And then let's do one that's going down like here. We'll do one that's going down like doop, doop. And then once it hits here, it changes angles, comes down here. And that's it. Then I'm gonna grab this one and this one. I don't want them to be that strong. Let's do like maybe 40. And that's it. If they don't look nice, you can move them around. Place them wherever you want. As long as they make sense to you. So this looks cool to me. I'm gonna delete this one. I grab these points and kind of fix them a little bit. Whoops. Let's grab this one, put it here. Let's grab this one, put it here. There. 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 You know, just do something nice. That's it. That's all I want to do. And you guys can continue on with your own design. This is cool enough for me. Let's hit save. And let's do one for this mountain. Gonna do, see how it's done. Yeah, let's do like just like that. Okay, P. I'm gonna do this, 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 and then I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna do like maybe that, 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 that. Something like this. And we'll bring this like a little bit less. Let's grab this in the background. Same thing. Let's delete it. And this doesn't look too good, so let's come back in, zoom in, and let's start to fix it. So I'm going to grab this point, bring it up there. And again, you guys, I'm not being extremely accurate, so don't worry about the accuracy, just do your best. As long as it looks nice, then there's no need to be extremely accurate, you know. I'm just going to trace this for now. That looks cool. Maybe I kind of want to round these now. Yeah, so it kind of like goes round and round and round. That's cool. Let's do that. I like that. Let's do the reflection on the water. Again, P for the pen tool. Now let's do like click. And then we'll do something like that. And then something like this maybe. I'm just making shapes up as we go. Go. Bring the opacity down. Bring the shape back. There you have it. You know what I'm noticing is that this shape is becoming extremely distracting, if you guys can see. So how do we stop it from being that distracting? Bring the opacity down. So it's there, but it's not really there. See, now it's gone. I'm still focused right here. From far away, this is all I see. Which is exactly what I want. Okay. That's cool. Now let's do another thing in the foreground, because the foreground looks kind of plain. Plus I want it to be like very dark. So I'm going to do like some, I don't know, maybe like some trees that are popping in the foreground or something. We'll do like something like this. Some shapes and stuff. And as you guys can see, that was completely random. So I am going to select this, and then I am going to make it into one color, and it is going to be extremely dark blue. Hit OK. Grab this in the background. Same thing with the shape. The shape tool, and there you go. Now it's out of my way. Okay, that looks cool. But the shape is just nasty. So maybe what I can do instead of doing this, this can stay. And then maybe I can do like a copy of this shape. So why don't we do this? And I'll do Control C, Control F to copy it. And then maybe if we do like something like that, or maybe like this, or something like this. And then if we click on the eyedropper tool, select this, it's gonna make it that color. Then I can grab the extras, delete them again with the shape builder tool. There you go. Okay, now this is too obvious that it's a copy of this one. Let's grab this thing right here, make it small. Maybe do something like this. So it's kind of like tuk tuk, you know, like two shapes. Here, that looks cool. Again, let's delete the extras. Hopefully you guys are having fun watching me do this. And let's break this shape up so it looks unique. We can click this, kind of do that. And then we can do like this. We can do this. Because I don't want it to be exactly the same. We can even do something extreme just like that. And maybe this goes on top of the water. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying that it is final. But you know, we're just creating stuff right now. We're just exploring. Hey, this looks great to me, man. I don't know about you, but this little space is a little bit empty, so I can grab some of these stuff and kind of start flipping them, rotating them, making them smaller, bigger, just to kind of fill up the space. Just like that. Now, as you guys can see, it's filled. We got something going on. This looks cool to me. Okay, let's save. Let's work on this gradient because it's not that cool now. We're working on this one. We can bring the dark up. Can we make it a little bit darker? That's okay. Then we can grab this and make it a little bit brighter, just a little bit, so we can create some contrast. There you go. I like the contrast here. This definitely is not working. We need some contrast here and here. Let's see. What is between this shape and this shape? We can do some of this stuff. Okay, so we'll grab the pen tool again. As you guys can tell already, we're going to throw in a quick shape. Control back, left bracket key to bring it into the spot we need. And the color I'm looking for is this right here in the corner. So gradient. This is like a teal. This is a teal, but it's a dark one. It's kind of saturated, but it's like somewhere here. It's this kind of thing. Then we don't need that. That's it, actually. Let's look at it now. If I bring this shape here, it is going to break up the contrast a little bit, not that much. You know what, actually, let's make it the color of the water. Let's see what happens if we pop it, like really pop it. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is exactly what we needed. Okay, now, but the shape is not that nice. We can actually get rid of. Let's click here and push this a little bit more. There you go. I want it to be pushed a little more. Okay, perfect. We can bring this like right here, and then we can copy this just like that. Maybe. No, definitely no. And you zoom out, you can tell that it's a no-no. But it is kind of like the water is continuing. Do you guys notice that? Yeah, I just noticed that. So maybe we can just flatten the shape. Let's flatten the shape. Can we? Let's flatten the shape a little bit more. There you go. Flatten that shape, baby. Here. Perfect. So now it's like the water continues beyond that thing. And then we can raise the water, bring it down. I don't want to raise it too much. We can put it somewhere there. And that happened just by mistake, as you guys can see, but hey, it works and it looks good. So for the clouds, it is still bothering me. I'm gonna extend them down. If this thing allows me, I want to extend them down. There you go. And then since I extended them, we can bring them up a little bit more. And extend the rest of the shape. Just like that. And then we can zoom back up and see what's happening. If that was too much, too little, or just unnecessary. Let's see. Let's right click, transform, and do reflect. And we can bring some of them up here, up there, maybe up here. Let's zoom out and see what's going on. You guys can see we can go on for hours and hours and hours, but I am actually happy. So I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to grab this and this. I'm done with them. I don't need them anymore. I'm going to delete. Here's my final thing. Let's see, we got some shapes that are going outside of our shape. So I'm going to click the shape builder tool one more time. Delete. Select everything. Everything looks clean. Let's hit save. And now we got to do some cleanup. Okay. But anyways, here's the final design, you guys. What do you guys think? You guys happy? Not happy? You can always come back, play with it until you are extremely happy with it. Okay, save. Okay, so now it's time to do some cleanup and fixing the groups. So let's start by selecting this shape, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And actually we need to select them from the layer panel over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and where is this one? Is it this one? 5. And what about this one? That's the shape we are looking for. Okay, so control, or you can just drag it up there. And then yeah, so once you have all the shapes, make sure it's this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one. We want to group these, so I'm going to hold shift, click all of them, and then we're going to click on this thing right here, and we're going to say collect a new layer. And this one I am going to call FG for foreground. Okay, now let's select this one. Okay, this one is going to be FG2, and we are going to bring it right here. Now let's see this shape. Okay, so this shape has to come to this shape, which is this one, I believe. Grab this, bring it on top of this, so it's this and that. That is going to be one layer. Yes, this is going to be one layer. So I'm going to have foreground 2, mid 2, background 2. Okay. So let me see. I got this one and that one. Shift, select both, collect a new layer. We'll call this mid. Okay, I'm gonna grab the water with the reflection with the second water. No, actually we'll put this part of the background. Okay, so this and this, right click, collect a new layer. This one will be mid. This one actually will be mid, and then this one will be mid 2. We want the water first and then the mountains to animate. See, we're gonna bring the water first, then the mountain. Okay, let's do this one right here because it has a lot of layers. So I'm gonna bring this one, drag it right here. So this is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. So all of these, select them with Shift, collect in a new layer, and then this one is going to be let's do we'll call this like maybe BG BG1 or something. And then you got 1, 2. Okay, these two, right click, collect a new layer, rename it, we'll do BG2. And then I got 1, 2, right click, hearts, not hearts, I mean clouds. Okay, we got the heart, we got everything. The only thing that is left is this thing. I need to grab it and put it with the BGs. So I'm gonna throw it inside the BGs, but on top of everything. Just like that. Okay, so now I have foreground 1, foreground 2, I got midground 1, midground 2, I got background, background 2, and I got clouds. Okay, then obviously the heart, this thing I'm going to call like the, let's call this BG color. And there you go, we got everything grouped. So now I'm gonna save it. And all we need to do is select everything and then bring them back and align them right here. Okay, so now this is all right here. A heart is here. Can grab the heart and actually put it on the top so we can see it. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You can even take out the background. The red is gonna show. So we got this and that, this and that. Awesome, amazing. Let's save it. Now let's click on the canvas or the artboard tool, and then we are going to make this artboard way smaller than what it is right now, so we can export it into an SVG. Let's bring this up and let's bring this over here. And let's get as close as we can. You guys want to get as close as you can to the item without actually touching it. And you guys will see why once we import this stuff and start animating the SVG. There you go. Closer, closer, closer as much as you can, but give it some breathing space. Okay, so this is too close. Let's give it some breathing room. This is perfect. We're done, you guys. So we're gonna select everything. Obviously we're gonna hit save. Gonna select everything. We are going to do file, and then we are going to do export for screens. We're going to select SVG right here. Then we're going to go into the options. We're going to click SVG and make sure it's on presentation attributes. SVG, preserve, layer names, blah, blah, blah. Save settings, and we are going to export. Make sure it's on artboards. Make sure it's on artboards, you guys. We'll do it one more time. SVG, settings, click SVG, presentation, SVG, preserve, blah, blah, blah. Save and export. Okay, and we're done. We'll close Illustrator, and next we are going to jump into VS Code. So it's gonna create a folder for you on the desktop somewhere. Just grab the SVG, cut it, throw it back into the folder you were working on, double click on it. It's going to open it in the internet, and there you have it. We're getting very close to the animation part, you guys. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's right click in our folder, open with VS Code. And there you have it. Let's create a new file. We'll call this index.html. We'll hit shift exclamation mark. And we will create a style.css. We will link it. Link tab. Style.css. Cool and cool. Now let's double click on our SVG. We select the SVG, click copy. Hit paste. Save. We don't need this or this. We just need the view box. And we can also remove the title. The title of this we don't need. Take that out. We could save. And let's try and go live and see what happens. Okay, and there we are. We went live. As you guys can see, this thing is huge. So let's target it and let's fix some stuff. So we'll go into our CSS. And I believe we called it was ID likes. And I will double check right now. Let's just do the width of it. About 30% of the screen. Let's save and come back here. That's a good size. That's a good size. And then we want to center it. So we'll do that with body. We'll do body, display, flex. Justify content center and align items center, and height is going to be 100 viewport height. Save. We are centered. Now we need to start targeting these items to hide them because we only want the red to show. Okay, and if you guys remember from the layer stuff that we named them, and the reason why we named them is because you see right here, each path has an ID, and the ID is the layer name that we chose in Illustrator. So we have hard. Let me look at them one by one. Here, foreground 2. Let's start hiding those. So to do that, we are going to need a JavaScript file. So we'll do like a new, let's do Animation.js, and we will throw it inside the body. Right after the SVG, we'll do like script, and the source is going to be Animation.js. Yes, let's save that. We'll bring this right here. So I'm going to do const foreground is equal to document.query select. I want you to select the thing with ID foreground, and then we'll say foreground dot style dot opacity is equal to 0. Let's save that, see what happens, and there you go, it's gone. The second one was called FG2, so we'll grab this, copy paste it, FG2, the ID was FG2, copy paste, FG2, save. There it is, now it's gone. Now the water was mid, I will believe we called it mid, FG2, there you go, mid, and then mid 2, mid and mid 2. Okay, let's copy all this stuff, and we'll do mid and mid 2, and we'll call this mid 2 and mid, and same thing applies right here, mid and mid 2, save, go back, they're gone. Now what's left is the background, I believe we called it. So we did mid 2. Let's go back up a little bit more, Let's look for some IDs. BG1, BG2, BG1, BG2, and clouds. BG1, BG2, and clouds. BG1, BG2, and clouds, I believe, hopefully. BG1, BG2, and clouds. Copy all three of those. BG1, BG2, and clouds. Save. Let's see what's happening. Perfect. And then the last thing that's left to remove is this thing. And I forgot what we called this one. It was like color, BG color or something. Here, BG color. So let's hide that one. Call this like BG color. And BG color. And then copy paste BG color. And there we have it, you guys. Okay, perfect. So we just hid everything and we are ready to animate. So to animate, we are going to use a library called Anime.js. Anime.js. It is an awesome library. And if you go to the docs, you can read all kinds of good stuff over here. We can go to the GitHub page, check it out. And as you guys can see, it says you can do like an npm install or download it. We're not gonna do any of those. I'm just gonna like use a CDN. So if you go to unpackage.com and you type /Anime.js, it will unpackage the file for you, and you just have to copy. My bad, we don't want to copy the code, we want to copy the link. So once we have the link copied, I can come back to my code and let's throw it inside a script right here. And we're done. Okay, let's work on the animation. Since we imported the library, all we gotta do to use anime is just type anime, just like that, and throw in an object inside. So that is the first way. This will allow you to animate stuff one by one, but what we want to do is we want to create a timeline. So I'm going to use the other function, which is anime.timeline. And I opened the code from my previous I opened the code from last night's experiment, so I can you know, copy and paste the code and make it a little bit faster, but we will go through it. So first things first, what do we want to do? Well, we want to make a timeline. We'll make the duration about 500, and all of these numbers that I'm putting, I was just experimenting for hours and hours last night. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up the docs. If you want to experiment, go to the docs, check out what the duration does, what the delay does, the direction, loop, the different easings, and start playing around with those numbers. But I'm telling you guys, I was playing for like a good 2-3 hours last night with those numbers. So duration is going to be 500. The direction is going to be alternate. That makes it go play the animation back and forth, and we want it to loop. Okay, so we have the animation. This is not going to do anything. We need to start adding stuff to this timeline. So this is the main timeline. It's going to play for this much. It's going to go back and forth, and it's going to loop. Now, what do we want to add to this timeline? Well, you just do add, and you throw in the stuff that you want to animate. So the first things first, let's target. This is how it works. And you throw in the quotes, and you go either by IDs or classes. So let's target the red, which is the red color. And what I want to do is, first things first, what do we want to animate? We want to animate its Y scale. And how do we animate it? Well, we say from to inside an array. So from scale 0 to scale 1. And then we will do easing. Ease in, out, expo. Now with this done, I'm going to hit save and see what's happening here. Let's close this. As you guys can see, now it's animating. But if you guys can see, it is animating from the top. So we want the anchor point to be at the bottom. So to do that, we need to throw in some CSS. So I'll go into the CSS and we'll say hashtag red. And I believe it was the transform origin. And we will do it goes for X and Y. So for the X, we'll do center. And for the Y, we'll do bottom. Hit save, and now that is animating from the bottom, as you guys can see. Bottom going up. Okay, cool. Now what's next? We need to work with the heart. So let's work with the heart. We'll come back here, and we called it heart. So I'm gonna do copy, and we'll do heart. And this time we want to work with the opacity, because we don't want it to show, and we don't want to work with this. We want to scale. We want to work just with the regular scale, which means not in Y, not in X, both together. So what I want to do, I want to scale it from 0 to 1. So basically it starts at scale 0 and then goes to scale 1. Same thing, it starts at opacity 0, goes to 1. Let's do that, save. Now what you guys can see is, and again, the origin point of the heart is all over the place. So I'm going to do center to fix that in CSS. So we'll do hashtag heart. And we'll do the transform origin. We'll do center. That should make it scale from the center. There you go. Boom. How cool is that, you guys? So now, what I want to do from here. So now this pops up, the heart pops up. Now I want the whole thing to just jump at you, just like the original animation. So we called, the whole item is called likes, hashtag likes. There it is, ID likes. So we are going to go target here. Oh, my bad. What's going on? Let's target targets, and we'll do hashtag likes. What I want to do, well, I believe you guys already know. Scale, we will do from 1 to 2, so it jumps at you. It goes like bam. Let's save. There. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, but it's getting too big, as you guys can see, so we can fix that very easily. We can come back to the CSS. Instead of making it like 30%, we can do like 20%, and there you go. That's more decent, no? Okay, so now that's that. Now we got boom, boom, poof. Okay, now let's start to stagger that stuff up in the background. But before we do that, I want the background to show exactly when the thing grows. So when likes grow, I want to show the background. So to do that, first we are going to hide the red and then display the other one. So I will do dot add one more time. This time the targets is going to be red, and what I want to do with red is take its opacity from 1 to 0. I want to hide the red, but at the same time I want the target, and I believe we called this BG color from the top. BG color. Let me just double, yeah, BG color. Now I want the BG color to go from opacity 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Now let's see what happens just like this. Okay, and as you guys can see, it is working, but it is little bit too late. So what I want to do is offset it to the back, like it happens way before. To do that, you just pass a second argument over here to the add, and we do my comma, inside quotes, we do minus equals, and then let's try 1 second and see what happens. And there you go. See? So now it grows exactly at the same time you get the color change, the background change. Perfect. Now it's time to stagger. So for the staggering, this is actually very neat and very cool. What we will do is I'm gonna do .add. Now, targets, since we need to stagger multiple things, we need to select a couple of them. So we're gonna throw them in an array. And we need to grab all of this stuff. So I'm gonna grab all of them just like this. Now I'm gonna throw them here for reference. This needs to be targets. So we need the foreground. We need foreground 2. We need mid 2. We need BG1, BG2. It's probably faster to type them. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, you guys. And clouds. Okay, so we got everything we want to stagger. And how does that work? Well, what do we want to do? First of all, we want to do the opacity 1, right? Because they're all opacity 0 over here. First thing we want to do is grab all of these, make their opacity 1, and then let's translate their Y's a little bit. Let's move them from, like, I don't know, 50 pixels up to 0. So we're gonna move them from 50 up to 0. You can move them to from like 100, 200. It's all up to you. Again, like I said, these are numbers that I experimented with yesterday, last night. So the way Stagger works in Anime.js is you say the delay dot, and then you say anime.stagger, and you pass in the number that you want them to stagger by. And we also want them to happen a little bit early, so we'll do minus equals 800. Let's save and see what happens. Oh, there. Look at that. Man, this makes me happy. I don't know. What do you guys think, huh? Tell me. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that, we're done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thumbs up, share it with your buddies, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace and love. Catch you on my Instagram. I'll see you next week probably. Peace.